Hi guys, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy, and this time I'm doing another Top 5 Wednesday, which were created by Lainey at Ginger Reads Lainey, and I'll post the link to the Goodreads group and her channel in the description below if you want to check them out. This week's topic is our top 5 did not finish books. So, books that we started reading but just didn't get to the end of for whatever reason. We're going to start off with one that I didn't finish recently, which is Gamelife by Michael W. Clune. It's a memoir about his childhood, starting in the 80s, going through the 90s, and his experience with video games. It's very nostalgic. It has a lot of different video games in it, and it was kind of cool at the beginning, but as we got later into the book, as he grew up, he became just super obsessed with them to the exclusion of everything else, and didn't understand why his friends didn't want to hang out with him when all he wants to do is talk about video games. So I just got frustrated with him as a human being. It made it worse the fact that it was a memoir, so it's like an actual person, so I just couldn't finish it. I got to the last 20 pages and decided I didn't care anymore, that I had read enough that I could do a review for it, and I didn't actually need to finish the book. So I actually have that review upcoming. I filmed it last week, but haven't edited it. Shows how much I care about it. Didn't even finish editing it, so hopefully that'll be this week or next week that I'll have that up. But yeah, I did not finish that book, guys. It wasn't worth the effort. Next up, I have Xenocide by Orson Scott Card, which is one of the Ender's Games books. And I love the first book, Ender's Game. It is amazing. It is brilliant, and I think it is a great standalone. And I've read Speaker for the Dead. That's a pretty good book. I've been reading the comics that Marvel did a few years ago. Those are awesome, but when I started reading Xenocide, I just stopped halfway through. I didn't care anymore. That book was not that interesting. It's been more than a decade since I stopped reading that book, so I don't exactly remember why. But it was enough to not make me want to read any of the other Ender's Games books. So I didn't do that until this year when my brother started reading the series that I went back and read the comics. Still not sure I want to read any of the other novels. It's a pretty strong feeling about that book. Next up, I have Adam Bede by George Eliot. This one had interesting characters and stuff, and I was liking it, but I just stopped halfway through. I got to page 50. Here's my bookmark. Page 50 out of this ginormous book. There's 500 pages, and this is small print, so it's a huge book. I got a tenth of the way through it. I think I was reading other books at the time, which is what happened, and then I just forgot I was reading this book, and there wasn't a whole lot happening plot-wise at that point, so I just forgot about it. And now it's been so long that I need to start at the beginning and reread it if I want to actually finish the book. So I'm in no rush to get there. This is one that I might actually read at some point and finish, though. Next up is one that I have talked about before, and it is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. And I freaking cannot stand Catherine and Heathcliff. Do not like them as characters. They are so frustrating. I read more than half of this book, but I just got so mad at them that I couldn't finish. I have watched movie versions of this. I know what happens in the end, and I am just not thrilled to read it in a book form. I don't like them. Not a fan of Wuthering Heights, guys. I'm not. And the last one I'm going to get a lot of flack for, which is that I stopped reading Fellowship of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, which is the first book in Lord of the Rings trilogy. And Frodo's a cool character and all. I've watched the movies. It's kind of exciting, but it just takes so long to get there. There's just so much wandering and traveling, and I don't like those kind of books, and it's just frustrating. And there was a scene in here where I think they were in a forest, and it felt like he was describing every single tree in the freaking forest, and I just threw the book across the room, and I have not finished reading the series since that point. Like I said, I watched all the movies. Doesn't that count? Do I get some credit? But I'm in no hurry to read the rest of Lord of the Rings books, guys. So there you go. There are 5 books that I did not finish reading. So let me know in the comments below if you have read any of these books or what books you've started reading and haven't read. Should I give any of these a second chance? Do you agree with me on not finishing these books, or have you just not even tried to start reading these books? Just whatever, guys. Peace out. I love you guys, and keep reading. Bye.